Peace and love, y'all. It's your brother A.D.V.I.S, and we are here with another episode of What's the Word Wednesdays, Season 2, Episode 17. So, as we usually do, I'm going to drop in the comments to have our particular topics for today, as well as I'm going to put up the logo, and we'll have that keeping and pushing and moving. Once again, what's the word with y'all? We are here in effect. So, as y'all are coming in, let me know how you feeling, how you doing, and what is the word for today. And let me know how to sound, if it sounds good, anything. But with that too, let's get these claps in here. We up in here. But with today's episode, the topics that we're going to be touching on will include current events, seeing what's going on and happening in our world, as well as what's happening around us. Two, we're going to get into drama, defining drama, and figuring out what drama brings and what drama takes away from us. And lastly, we're going to be looking into how to block unwanted messages, people, and vibes, so it all connects back together. But with that, y'all, we're going to wait. More people come in. Other than that, just watch it as we go. Sudden blockage. Both heat and she positioned in the back, gripping heat that melts like caps, so polar opposite of grass, and you can't view their eyes. Once so bright, but now callous and dry. The elder has seen countless times. Youth so young, caught up in this life with little chance for survival. The elder makes it to the car, tells them put it in park. Conversation sparks, plugs in for the connection. What's going on? Kundan, good to see you in here. What's the word? Let me know what's the word. You starting at the beginning, so we haven't even got started yet, but good to see you in here. Good to see you in here. Let me know if everything sounds great, if you can hear me and it's nice and clear. But again, shout out to those who are here, as well as those who will be watching this later, whether on Instagram or YouTube. If on YouTube, don't forget to follow your boy, like, share, subscribe, comment, do all of those things that A.D.V.I.S speaks, because we're going to keep this content going and we're going to keep it moving and progressing. So that's my little plug there. With that, we're going to be jumping into the show song, and we are going to get this show on the road. But let me push up my chair real quick a little bit, get some height so I'm not so short. But here we go. Now, after a while, you get it, you know it. You know the song, come along, sing along, do what you want to. But sometimes they just ask me, what's going on? So I'll tell them like, what's the word, y'all? What's the word? What's the word, y'all? What's the word? What's the word, y'all? What's the word? We tell them like, what's the word? What's the word? What you heard? You gotta know, yeah, what's the word? So let's see. Alright. Got a little of that is saying it's pausing. So let's see real quick, y'all. I might have to come back and redo this, but let's see. Let's see. It's the internet. What's the word, y'all? What's the word? We tell them like, what's the word? What's the word? What you heard? Alright, we're good. Alright, but let's keep on going, y'all. Had to double check. I appreciate that. Thank you all those in the comments. I'm just trying to make sure that it runs smoothly so that the episode is gotten out where it needs to. But once again, peace and love, y'all. It's your brother A.D.V.I.S, and we are here with another episode of What's the Word Wednesdays, this season 2, episode 17. So with that, I appreciate everyone that's here. Appreciate those who will be watching this now, as well as later on Instagram, YouTube. If you haven't done so, please like, share, subscribe, follow, do all those things for your boy, because we got more content and things coming along your way. So appreciate it. As well as, if y'all have anything, drop them in the comments and let me know how you're doing, how you're feeling, and what is the word, okay? So with that, we have 3 topics today, which we're going to be talking about. Current events, which I see Kundan has already dropped something in there that I was going to speak on, as well as we're going to be talking about drama. And then lastly, we're going to talk about how to block unwanted messages, people, and vibes. So, without further ado, let's get into these current events. Alright, so since the brother already touched on it, I was going to use that last to have as a comment. But for today's, we're going to be looking at news within the health sector. We're going to be looking at news within the social sector of the world, as well as other news to just have in the back of your mind when it comes to weather of that such. But because of the fact, we got to talk about this for those who do not know, but the House has passed a bill to commemorate Juneteenth as a federal holiday. So basically, if any of y'all don't know, Juneteenth, which is June 19th, is basically a holiday that is celebrating the mark of where in 1865 enslaved people in Texas were freed during a whole thing with the Emancipation Proclamation. So that is technically for enslaved folks, that is their Independence Day. So now that's been signed into by the House, now it is seen as a federal holiday. We'll see how the other stuff and rules and regulations go along with it, but I have an article here for that, so let's go ahead and just jump into this article. So again, it reads, and this is from NPR, it reads, House passes a bill to commemorate Juneteenth as a federal holiday. When we get in here, 2 paragraphs and we out. The rest you can look up and you'll see more of it there. So, in this particular case, we have this going on where it says, the Democratic-led House of Representatives on Wednesday, so it's today, easily approved legislation to commemorate Juneteenth, the national remembrance of the end of chattel slavery in the United States, as a federal holiday. The 415 to 14 House votes follows Tuesday's unanimous approval in the Senate to federally recognize the holiday. All 14 no votes in the House came from Republicans. The bill now heads to the president's desk. So it says June 19th marks the 1865 date that people who were enslaved in Texas were freed under the Emancipation Proclamation. So, last one, and we out. President Abraham Lincoln had actually signed the measure outlawing slavery in Confederate states more than 2.5 years earlier, which was in 1863. But it wasn't until 1865 that those remaining bondages in Texas attained their freedom. So this article is just detailing all of the bits and parts of how now this has become a federal holiday, and it's at the president's desk to be basically signed and put into regulation. I don't know any more information on top of that. We'll see as it continues to develop. But yes, Juneteenth has been recognized as a federal holiday. So thank you for sharing that, brother. Thank you for sharing that, Kundan. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right, now onto the health side of things. We have a new shot company that is in the running to also provide other vaccines. And in this particular case, this article is from the Washington Post, and the company is called CureVax, and I give a little bit more around it, but the Post reads, CureVax, latest experimental coronavirus vaccine proved just 47% effective amid spread of variants. Preliminary analysis shows. So, CureVax is a German company that has been doing these trials to create another particular vaccine to put out on the market and have. So in this particular case, they did a trial run, and it showed that their vaccine is 47% effective, which is very terrible results, percentages wise, not even over 50. But let's read 2 paragraphs and we're out. So, a closely watched coronavirus vaccine invented by the German company CureVax was just 47% effective in a large trial at its interim analysis, a disappointing result that may highlight the challenge posed by virus variants. The results of the 40,000 person trial, announced in a news release Wednesday, mark a setback for promising vaccines based on messenger RNA technology, the same approach at the core of the Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna vaccine authorized late last year for use in the United States. So this is still using some of the very similar technologies with other previous vaccines, more so Pfizer and Moderna, but it hasn't shown to be effective right now, at least in those trials. Last paragraph and we out. The trial in 10 countries in Latin America and Europe will continue, and a final result is expected in a few weeks. So we'll get more updates on this in a few weeks. The CureVax vaccine is of key importance, especially in Europe, which has pre-ordered 225 million doses with the option to buy 180 million more. So there's another new shot on the market, not showing great results, especially for those already buying into it, especially Europe. So we'll see the updates for it. But again, just letting y'all know now, there's not only Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, AstraZeneca. Now we have CureVax. There's going to be more to even come, but just letting you know, there's another one on the market. Yeah. And with that, to add on top of that story too, I have another one that's a very similar article to CureVax. But the one thing I wanted to point out on this one is that this company is also backed by Bill Gates. So Bill Gates has put in some funding to back this particular company and what it's doing in creating another vaccine. So it's very interesting. I'll read just the paragraph that it says, and then we out again. So CureVax, which is backed by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, saw its stock price plummet following Wednesday's announcement. Shares were down more than 50% in post-market trading. The foundation owns about 3.1 million shares of CureVax, or 1.7% of the company, according to the data compiled by Bloomberg. So, again, a lot of this too sells. It's also up for shares on the market to be used and everything else. So, just keeping that in mind as well, who's backing it and what's being marketed around it. But that's CureVax. Now, got 2 more things in health, and then we'll continue to the next segment of the news. So, next one we have is from Associated Press, and headline reads, vaccine efforts turn into slog as infectious variant spreads. So, if those people, or those who do not know right now, on top of all the other variants that we have, whether if it's one from the UK being the B1, all these other different numbers, as well as one from Africa, now there is another variant that was founded, if I'm correct, they're saying in India, but I'm gonna see. I may be completely wrong, but we're gonna see. But this is a Delta variant. So the name they gave it is Delta, and I'll give you information on that. But in this article, let's jump in, see what it's got. So it reads: as cases tumble and states reopen, the potential final stage in the United States campaign to vanquish COVID-19 is turning into a slog. So it's not starting to work out. With a worrisome variant gaining a bigger foothold in lotteries and other prizes, failing to persuade some Americans to get the shots. Okay? So, let's see. I want to read down to the part where it has a little bit more information on what this particular thing is. So, here it is. Those two, and we're out. One major concern is the highly contagious and potentially more severe Delta variant of the coronavirus that originated in India. While health officials say the vaccines are effective against it, the fear is that it will lead to outbreaks in the states with lower vaccine rates. The Delta virus has increased from 2.7% of all cases in May to 9.7%, which that is a 7% increase this month. Dr. Rachel Walensky is the director of the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, said during a call with the governors on Monday, according to the details provided by the governor's office. So, with all that's going on, more different vaccines, there's more variants that are showing up. So just making sure you take your precautions, keep yourself safe, keep yourself healthy, all these different things. If you're going to, go and get the shot, get the shot. If you already have it, then you have it. If not, you just, again, be aware of what you need to do to help yourself and others out when it comes to the situations. It's starting to slow down, but then be very mindful and careful. But that's that one there. Just like life, man. And lastly, for health, like I said, yeah. Wow, variant is interesting. I knew India had a different strand, but I didn't know the name. Yeah. I don't know who's coming up with the names and stuff, but yeah, they've named it the Delta virus or the Delta strand. So I had to look a bit more into it and see what the particular names and precautions and stuff, but I saw it was like an interesting number code. Like, I'm starting to notice some of these variants have all these different number codes. So very, very something to keep an eye on. Said I think California has has a different variant too now, and Chicago too. Possibly it might show up in news. Look it up, you'll probably see. But I haven't seen anything on that particular, but there might be. So last thing I wanted to check on, because last show or before we've talked about some of these the shelf life for a lot of these vaccines and shots that are given. They have a shelf life, so they expire after a certain time, and there's money, again, that is lost on that, as well as the usage for different companies in different countries that can use these vaccines if that's what, is needed. So, in the Washington Post, this post reads, nearly 900 people got expired Pfizer shots in New York City. So it read that. So expired shots in New York City. So let's see what the outcome is, or like I said, 2 paragraphs and we out. So what we got here, it says just under 900 people received expired doses of the coronavirus vaccine this month at a New York City clinic, health officials said. The New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene is urging the 899, they rounded up, the 899 who were given the Pfizer shots between June 5th and 10th at the former NFL Experience building in Times Square to get another dose as soon as possible. Experts say that the expired doses are not dangerous. They say it's not dangerous, but their effectiveness could be in question. So, I'll read last and we out. While there is no safety risk for the patients, the re-administration is being carried out to ensure that the individuals are fully protected, a spokesman said. Those patients have received emails, phone calls, and are also being sent letters to make sure they are aware of this situation. So, in this particular case, we don't know what getting a expired vaccine feels or looks like, as well as will it have an effect on its effectiveness overall for strands and everything, as well as is it effective to use it right after you've gotten a quote-unquote shot, because I know those folks that I've seen have gotten the shots, they've gotten one shot one time, and then next month around that same time they got the second shot. So I don't know if that also is going to have a loop on things. So we're going to see how all this data works out, y'all. They're doing all this testing, all these trials. We're going to see how this data works. But yeah, that's the last for the health. But moving forward, another thing I just wanted to keep out there too is with the whole thing of the corona, the whole situation, there's been news talking about them looking into the origins of where the pandemic, aka where the virus came from, and this is another article that speaks a bit on it, so we're gonna get into it and we get out. But this comes from NBC News, and the article headline reads, "There's still no evidence of a Chinese leak, but here's what's changed," scientists say. So 2 paragraphs and we out. Alina Chan isn't saying the coronavirus definitely leaked from a lab in China. What she is saying is what more scientists have grown comfortable discussing publicly. There's no clear evidence either way. I know a lot of people want to have a smoking gun, said Chan, a postdoctoral associate at the Broad Institute of MIT and Harvard University who specializes in genetic engineering and has been vocal about the need to investigate the possibility of a lab leak. It's more like breadcrumbs everywhere, and they're not also leading in one direction. It's the whole floor covered with breadcrumbs. So, they're still not sure if it's leaked out of the lab or not, but they're saying that it looks like it's not still possibly either way. So, we'll see as more of the news develops there, but yeah, they're doing an investigation to figure out where the origins of the virus came from. But yeah, let's see. So dang, they were given expired vaccines. Yes, they were. At $899, at least in New York. I wonder how long they last, even if they're not expired. That's a really great question. I have to go back and see, but they have a certain shelf life, and before even being used in that shelf life, when you would get your shot, it looks like they're going to start doing this as an annual thing. So you will get your 2 doses, and it looks like it'll be an annual shot, or there's possibilities of booster shots or other different variants, whether there's patches you can put on you that will give a dose of it. There's different ways that they're going about when it comes to administering and keeping this up, but it looks like it's a yearly thing, just at least from what I've gotten to research and know a little bit about. But yeah, so that's that there. Now, when it comes to weather, and this is specifically in the U.S., if any of y'all are not, can't, but we feeling it now. We are in the midst of the summer coming. So, U.S. Today headline reads, 50 million Americans under warnings as heat wave smashes records in the West. Fuels dangerous wildfires. So, some of y'all there on the West Coast, East Coast, y'all probably cool, good, chilling. What's going on, brother? Good to see you in here. What's the word? We see that there is a lot going on usually around this time. Wildfires is hot. All the things are going on. But in different places, there's been record-breaking numbers when it comes to the heat. I had to go out and get me a fan. I don't know if y'all can hear it in the background, but I had to go get me a fan of how hot it's been getting lately. I know a brother of mine lives in Arizona, and woo, the numbers was getting high. I saw like 116, 117 in certain areas. But let's see what this article continues to read into it. So here we go. 100-year record broken in Montana. The hottest temperature in Utah City in 147 years. Dozens of daily records smashed throughout many different states. So you see, yeah, 105 today in Colorado. Look, 115. Prince, you gotta please remind me, brother. I'm blanking and where you at. If y'all know, let me know where y'all at. Throw it in the comments. I already know Kundan is still out here in Cali with me, but it's been getting hot for sure. But yeah, and the heat wave in the west isn't still getting up. So I want to see a little bit more of what's going on. Here we go. We got a few of them in here, and then we'll leave it at that. So Salt Lake City specifically also set another heat record for the second day in a row, experiencing its hottest day of the year and the hottest temperature for June in 147 years after hitting 106 degrees, according to the Weather Service. Yeah, you know AZ. Oh, yeah. Yeah, brother. Yeah, AZ for sure. Palm Springs, which I know has known to be hot just regularly, hit 117 degrees, appearing to break the world, or I said world, but breaking the record temperature for June 15 set back in 1961. So it is heating up, y'all, for sure. Let me see, got a few more, and I'll leave it there. So it says a daily record of 104 was in Billings, Montana. Today and Tuesday, there was broken on Monday is a temperature. It was broken since 1919. In Miles City, Montana. Like, woo, that's crazy. Since 1919, man. And in Denver on Tuesday, the temperature soared to 101, breaking an old record for June 15th, which was 97 degrees in 1952 and in 1993. So it is not playing around when it comes to this heat. What's going on, nephew? I see you in here. So much of that is going on right now. But all I'm saying is, stay hydrated. Make sure you're drinking waters. Find you some shade. Make sure if you're going to do an activity outside, make sure you get yourself well equipped and prepared, whether it is a bottles of water, some type of head cover if you need to, sunglasses, whatever you need to survive the heat, because it's coming. But with that, y'all, few last things and we will be good. I'll leave this one out. It was definitely good. I wanted to do a quick back look on what's going on with Israel and still between those two in Palestine. So what I've gotten is this video. So we're going to read this video. We're going to listen to this video. Let me know you can hear it, and then we'll talk after. But the video in its particular itself, the headline, it reads, Israel aircraft bombs Gaza. China flies planes into Taiwan, controlled airspace, Song Kim to visit South Korea, all these other things going on. There was a ceasefire that was created between Israel. They were able to figure that out. But let's see what's going on with all of this still going on. Water is life. Yes. Yes, it is. Water is definitely is life. 1000% with you, nephew. Yes. But y'all let me know if you can hear it. And let's get into this thing. probably see if I can show it to y'all too. Maybe not, because y'all see
In our
something
worldview
else.
today, Israel has resumed airstrikes on the Gaza Strip just 3 days into the new coalition government. The Israeli military said it struck military compounds tied to Hamas, while Palestinian news outlets reported property damage. No casualties have been reported so far. The latest Israeli attack came after the new leadership allowed a far-right Jewish march to pass through Palestinian areas of Jerusalem, despite opposition by Arabs as well as leftist lawmakers in the coalition government. The violence comes less than a month after Israel and Hamas agreed to a ceasefire. At least 250 Palestinians and 13 Israelis were killed in last month's fighting. Diplomats from the U.S.
So I'm gonna leave that other parts out from what's going on with China and Taiwan and South Korea. I'm gonna leave those parts out. But again, it's been less than a month of the ceasefire, and there's another bombing and things going on between Israel and Palestine in different particular areas. So I just wanted to bring that back up, just let y'all know that it's not only just what's going on in the U.S., but what's going on and happening in the world around us, y'all. But with that, that's all I got for the news. If y'all have anything else, please keep them in the comments. I appreciate y'all's interaction as well as the information that you share, because I also learn from y'all as well. But with that, we moving on to the next topic, which the next topic is drama. Now, y'all let me know in the comments, when you hear the word drama, what comes to mind? A word, a phrase, a saying? But please write it down. Y'all let me know, when you hear the word drama, what comes to mind? And as y'all are doing that, I'm gonna have to pull up some definitions again for us to have, just so we can have a basis for this talk and this reasoning conversation. So I'm gonna have that. Let's see. Actually, there are 10 variants in California, but only 5 are of concern. Interesting. Wow. Okay. Let's see. We got drama makes me think of the TV series. Yeah, I don't watch TV, but I googled and that was one thing that popped up. But also interpersonal conflict. Thank you, Kundan. And we got from Prince. He says chaos. I feel those words. Now, thank y'all for sharing. For the part of this discussion, y'all more than welcome to come on, make this more, interactive, as well as share your perspectives. But for the sake of this conversation, discussion, I'm gonna give definition. Parts of it is those, but I'm gonna give some more so we can have more of a well-rounded. But here we go. Definition is coming from Webster's Dictionary, and I also got one from the Free Dictionary. Always gotta have multiple sources. So, Webster's Dictionary defines drama in a few ways. 1, as literature. 2, it defines it as a movie or television production with characters of a serious play, broadly. 2, again, having to do with literature, which is dramatic art, anything around English drama that it's saying. 3, it says a state, situation, or series of events involving interesting or intense conflict of forces. So much. The other part of it says a dramatic state, effect, or quality. So a lot of these ones are more preferred to the act of drama and the plays, the movies, and the characters being used. Now, let's move over to the Free Dictionary, and these are the definitions that lead from there. So, first one, it says a prose or verse composition, especially one telling a serious story that is intended for representation by actors impersonating the characters and performing the dialogue and action. So we're talking about plays. So a drama is also another word for a play in this particular case. 2, theoretical plays of particular kinds of a period. So, for example, Elizabethan period of a drama. 3, the art or practice of writing or producing dramatic works. This is drama. We think of books. There's drama section. 4, a situation or succession of events in real life having the dramatic progression or emotional effect characteristic of a play. So again, it's moving a lot more towards this being plays, different movies and productions. And then lastly, on this one, it says the quality or condition of being dramatic. So y'all, those are just some of them in there. But with that, reason why I wanted to give the definitions is because you can see how much we can develop and use this when it comes to figuring out, all right, where are we going to talk about when it comes to drama? But in this case, I'm going to look at drama from those perspectives, as well as how it is used in regular day to day. When we think of drama, regular day to day, just like you've all said in here, whether it has to do with interpersonal conflicts, chaos, issues between other people's groups, whatever it may end up being, as well as how it is sparked between different groups when it comes to either a certain ideal or gossip of what's been said. So we think of drama in that aspect. Yes. In this case, like I said, they're talking more so of plays, TV shows, written books, and things of that nature when it comes to drama. So my first question I'll pose out to y'all, and also for myself to answer, is, what is the purpose of drama? Like what play what does drama play in our day-to-day lives? What does it play? What's its purpose? And I'm checking to see if they have any more stuff, y'all, to add with it. There's a word crisis, like crisis is on there too. But as y'all are there waiting to give your feedback and answers, when it comes to the purpose of what drama brings, one of the main purposes that I see that drama brings is entertainment. It just brings that entertainment value to whoever and whatever is watching, as well as is involved in this particular quote unquote drama. It's for that entertainment value. It's also, its purpose is to bring about I want to say bring excitement as well. So when you're in a dramatic situation and things going on, you see not that many people being just, I'm cool, I'm chilling off of that. There's a lot of emotions and a lot of either excitement, upset, all these roller coaster feeling of emotions that are added on when it comes to situation of drama. As well as the purpose of drama, besides the entertainment value and the excitement value, is that drama brings to light, actually, it brings to light an existing issue. And what I mean by an existing issue is it brings to light problems that you may have with somebody, but you would keep it nice and calm and cordial, but it got to a point where all the gossip and the talking has overstayed its welcome, and it got to a point that drama does this too, not only to entertain or excite, but to address the problems that a person may be having with another person. Now, you may use a different word. You may not say drama. Maybe you want to use confrontation or another different word. But that's another thing that drama brings is addressing problems between people. It's just addressing it. It doesn't mean that it solves it, but it addresses it. But y'all let me know what y'all are thinking on that too when it comes to it. But that's at least a purpose in that realm of drama. Now, with the purpose of drama being used for television plays and writings, that as well, entertainment value, excitement value, as well as a learning aspect of being able to work on acting skills, work on your public speaking, working on your ways to express yourself when it comes to drama, as well as working on your writing when it comes to composing and coming up either with poems, plays. It's working on your written part of language, as well as it enhances to your creativity because you're coming up with different works and different plays and others ideas just from the drama, plays, and situations you want to come up with. So in that aspect of the realm of the movie, television, and on stage performances, the purpose is to bring about a lot of those things as well. Now, as y'all are still putting some stuff down, do what you have to. When we're thinking of it, not just from what's the purpose of drama, now the next question that I would like to raise is where and where I was going to say where and why does drama appear, but it's very similar to what I was saying with the purpose. But where does drama usually come up? Does drama come up going swimming? Does drama come up when you're in supermarket? Does drama come up when you're at home watching the TV? So where does drama originate? And as y'all are putting it down, when I think of it, I think that drama it can appear from just about anywhere. It's depending on if you're looking for it or if it's coming out in the way that it's right there blatantly in front of you, or you're just observing it from afar. But drama could come up any day. It's a part. It's ingrained in the human world, in our experience, whether if it's a drama trying to find a parking space or a drama when you are waiting in line. Drama really peaks in. If you want to really think of drama, it really touches on emotions, and it really focuses right there on the emotional piece when it comes to drama. So anything that gets your emotions going and having you feeling different ways, drama can originate from there. A lot of it, when you think of drama, it's more so a negative situation. So you're upset at somebody. Drama can be you made someone sad. You ended up making someone feel, happy and frustrated. There's a number of different ways that it can come up, but it's really detailed and specific to the situation you get yourself into and you see. I mean, I've seen a number of just things pop out, especially for those back way when, if you had to go to the DMV and go get yourself done, for sure, you will see a lot of people either frustrated with waiting, because DMV is known to have crazy long lines, is known to have crazy amounts of just waiting and things happening for people. It's just them getting upset. Peace and love. What's going on? Chris in the building. What's the word? Good to see you in here, sister. Speaking back on to the DMV example, there's been times where people have been in line and another person tries to come in and cut in line, and they begin to have exchange of words, and then right there, conflict happens, and there's a bit of drama that is there. So, and that's from being in a situation where you're already frustrated, maybe upset because you're waiting, all these different things, and then someone oversteps your boundaries, and then boom, ends up happening. So another piece with drama too is that boundary ending piece, and that's where it can commence. So it can originate from any type of situation, especially how you are feeling, because it does with emotions. And when someone ends up crossing a boundary of yours, drama can ensue. So that's one other way. Let me see. We got Kundan's coming on, but I wanted to read a few of Kundan's comments and others that had them in here. And we have here, Kundan says, when people get greedy or want to push boundaries and manipulate, what's going
What's wrong?
on? What's the
What's wrong?
word?
What's the word? I'm just chilling.
We living and learning, doing what we can here. I was looking at some of the comments that you had here, so I wanted to just make sure I brought them back up. But yeah, you touched on it before I even said it, but we was on the same route right there about the whole boundary piece. Yeah,
Yeah.
or being able to manipulate someone, to get what you
Mm.
want from them. But yeah, so when the boundaries are not clear, that's when yes, drama can end up coming out. I like that. Chris, the reason why I was small, because I'm not small now, is I'm trying to put up my poster for the show and to have it there, so when I upload it to other places, I have a nice little screen of like me and then the thing going together.
Oh
Gotcha.
yeah, that's
Yeah, so
really
that's the
Gotcha.
nice.
reason why I was small. So I start off small, but when people come in, it's
Mhm.
gone. What's going on, Chris? What's going on? What's the
How did you
word?
do that?
What
How
is the word?
how did I do what?
The screen thing that you did before.
Yeah, you're gonna have to teach me. You know I'm old.
So when y'all go live,
Hmm.
you have to be the person that's going live.
Right.
There's going to be an option for you on the. So in this case, I'm doing this. I know I'm doing it side like y'all. Like I know what the side is. But when you're on your phone, it's going to be on the right hand side. There's going to be four different options for you to pick, and one of them is a picture. So you
Mm.
click on it, and you can look at your available pictures that you have saved on your camera
Gotcha.
roll, and you just click on that
Mm.
picture, and it'll be the background.
You know what's crazy? I actually
Mm.
now understand. I understand my mom. I'm getting there. I'm getting to the point. I'm like, mm-mm. How you do
Techno-
this? How you do this?
Technology is outpacing us right now, right?
Right, exactly. You blink and you already behind.
Yeah. We
But
just learning Canva this week, and that's been fun.
one more
The
time.
the Canva app for like editing pictures and videos.
Yes,
Canva.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
yes. That in Canva. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I have Canva, but I'm still. I use it for more like like creating posters for my Shutter Girls Instagram and stuff, like
Mm.
pictures. But yeah,
Yeah,
I know I've noticed you can do a lot more, but I'm like, I ain't ready.
yeah. That's how I've made for when I do my words are real spell series. That's how I actually
Mhm.
made it my end thumbnail. Like it has the background, and then
Mm.
I could put in
Mm.
specific things. That's how I made my end thumbnail. And I'm
Mhm.
actually gonna go back in Canva when I get some more pictures, and I'm gonna make my channel banner from using Canva.
Nice.
I'm gonna do that, but we'll take some time. But
Nice.
with all of this being caught up, y'all, the topic I want to hear y'all. We speaking on drama. Chris
Drama.
came in a
Da,
little
da, da, da,
bit
da.
from there. I gave out
Mhm.
definitions, of course, from your favorite spot, which is Webster's, as well as I
Yes.
gave some from Free Dictionary. And a lot of those definitions more so
Hey, you
touched
don't use
on
Urban
the
Dictionary?
artistic aspect as well as
Mhm.
more of the dramatic feel of a play, movie, and television. And the only
Gotcha.
the only other things that it kind of talked about when we use drama every day
Mhm.
is more
Mhm.
so a state, a situation, or a series of events involving interesting or intense conflicts of forces.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I got a
Mm.
story for you.
Mm,
I got a story. It
Mm.
just happened, and it messed up my energy so badly. Like,
mm,
so I like to live
Mm.
stream on this app called Meet Me.
mm.
So I like to just live stream. Most of the time, I just get like trolls. So I'm chilling. I'm like watching a movie, and the camera is just pointed at me. If someone comes in, I'm like, "Hey, what's poppin'?" If they don't answer, I understand they're just lurking, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes you'll get people who respond. Now, this guy that I think I favorited him like months and months and months ago, I think he must have like said something, or maybe we had a good encounter. So I was like, okay, I'll favorite you. He requested to versus battle me. So that's when you get to talk, kind of how we are talking here, but
Yeah.
it's like one-on-one, and then people can gift you, and then the winner gets points, because everything is on a diamond system now with live streaming. Any like
Interesting.
platform you go on, you get
Oh yeah, you
diamonds,
can get
and you
paid
can
for it,
cash,
right?
yeah, you can cash it out for real money once you hit a certain amount. So this is like the popular thing that I've noticed for a while. So like we're versus battling, and I'm braiding my hair this day, and he's like, "Oh, you're beautiful," da 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 da, and I'm like, okay, thank you, like, because I don't know how to accept compliments. That's me. I got issues, but whatever. So like I'm like, okay, thank you, and then he starts asking me questions, which I'm thinking we're just having a regular conversation, and he's all like, are you looking for a man? Do you ever plan on getting married? And, me being the person that I am,
Yeah.
I was like, no, I'm currently not looking. No, I don't have any aspirations to get married. No, I have no children, like all these things. And all of a sudden it kind of like flips, like his energy like flips, and he starts telling me that I'm lying to myself, that every woman needs a man, and you need a man to protect you. You need a man for this and that, and just keeps going in on me. And I was like telling him like, I like, you can believe what you want to believe, but that's not what I'm looking for right now. That's not what I want right now.
What's up, cuzzo?
I'm not in the position. I was trying to explain to him, I'm not in the position in my life to be like looking for a relationship with all these, because relationships come with responsibility.
Yes.
I already got other responsibilities I'm trying to take care of. So then he starts saying like, so all these guys are probably approaching you and you're just turning them down. You could be turning down the perfect one for you. And I was like, there's no such thing as perfection. I was like, no
Yeah.
person is perfect. There is no perfect the one. And he's like, oh, you're just lying to yourself because you're gonna miss out on him. And I told him like, look, I'm open enough that if something is meant to be, it will happen. You know what I mean? Regardless of like me actively looking for it or like searching. If it's meant to be, if it's cosmic, if the stars align, it's gonna be presented to me in my path.
Yes.
And then oh my god, it just spirals from there. He starts getting aggressive with me, and he's like, oh well, you're the reason why the black race is gonna end, because you don't want to have
What?
babies. And I was like,
What?
whoa, whoa, whoa. I got so offended. I was a little hurt. I was a little hurt. And I was like, whoa, that is a heavy thing to say and to put onto somebody. I'm one person. And to accuse me of like ending my race because I'm not having babies right now, I was like, you are on something. Like, I had to even ask him, I was like, are you drunk right now? Like, are you drunk? And he's like, no, I'm not drunk. He's like, and then he just goes off generalizing on like women. And I'm like, dude, you're not, like, you said you wanted to have a conversation. I'm answering your questions and you're not accepting my answers.
Yeah.
You're not accepting them. So now you're talking at me. And there's a
Yeah.
difference between talking to someone and talking at someone.
Yeah.
And he was all like, well, fine, let's have a conversation. You didn't even ask me what my favorite color is or anything about me. And I was just like, what in the world is like going on? But I'm learning that there's a lot of people out there who like to get an arise out of people,
Yes.
and they feed off of that. They
Yes.
feed off of that kind of like conflict. And I was so rattled, like I could not sleep the rest of that night. I really couldn't, because it was just like, why do people want to just pick on people, and then they want to say like, oh, I'm just having a conversation, oh, I'm just asking questions, and it's like, no, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You are gaslighting, you're manipulating, and you're putting someone down just to feed off this high or whatever you're releasing, because it's a chemical reaction. It's that dopamine that they get because they enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So talk about drama.
Yep.
I feel like that was drama, and I had to unfavorite him. I reported him and I blocked him, like, because I was like, that's not okay. That's not okay to do that to people. And all these people on his stream were like these other women, and that's what I didn't understand. These other women were talking trash about me too in his stream. They're like, oh, she ain't saying nothing back, da 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 da. And I'm just like, wow, the simple minded, they do like to stay together, but if you call them simple minded, then they get offended. You know what I mean? So it's like, I guess I'm looking personally, like, to find another, like, what's another word, or how can I change the language so that it's not offensive, but still get my point across about the lower vibrating
Call them
people.
dumbasses.
No, that will start a fight.
Called them what?
He said dumbasses. No, I'm trying to be not
You can
offensive, but
use I appreciate your general perspective.
yeah, I tried,
Your,
but that
your
didn't
general.
work.
I know. I get you, because
Oh,
you already
goodness.
got to a point. It seemed like it got to a point where it was just that needed exchange there. Because
Yeah.
I can see where he was going at first when it comes to some of that stuff. Because I can argue and say that some of the things he said, the way that he expressed it, he didn't have enough to back up to at least let you know that the reason why he was like, this is the reason why I say that a woman should be with a man or is needed because of this. There's statistics out there that can show different things, but everybody, yes, you can lead your own life how you want to. The main thing is having your plan. Just having a plan when it comes to that. But in his particular plan, it was just to be erratic and just be like, yo, I'm going to just start saying some things and let me see what's going to get her to trigger that response. And then I have my team rooting for me already, so they going to give me more
it's a
energy
performance
and
drama.
Exactly. So that's why, even though, yes. Kundan, like, I don't know, you might have to do something with your mic because it sounds a little muffled when, like, we're trying to hear you, because I want to make sure that we can.
Yeah.
But
it's like high school, huh?
Yeah. Yes. And this man was in his mid-30s.
What was that?
I'm getting feedback.
Wow.
Oh, I'm getting feedback. I don't even know how.
I heard that too.
Okay. Hello?
And he's like, I'm in, I'm out, I'm in, I'm out. So we put your left foot in, left foot out, all of that. The hokey pokey right now. But
yeah. No. Oh, there was one more thing, Calvin, that really rattled me. Not only
grinding my gears.
Because I love that episode. Like, he was like,
Okay, how about now?
Oh, that was better.
Yes.
Whatever that was better.
Okay, yeah, I put on my headphones. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, not only that the black race is going to end because I'm not having babies, I'm pushing babies out right now, but also because I'm being a disappointment to my ancestors. And I told him, I was like, my ancestors died for me to have the level of freedom I have to choose what I want to do with my life. So if I want to go climb Mount Everest tomorrow, I can. Like, I can do what I want to do. So don't tell me that they're disappointed in me, because I know my squad is rooting for me up top. Talking about I need a man to protect me. I don't. And I'm gonna share with you, Calvin, because you're like my longtime friend.
Yeah.
My brother passed away in 2013. The anniversary is coming up next month. My brother is protecting me, because the last time I was at his gravesite, I burned my sage, I charged my crystals on his headstone, and I cried and I asked him for protection. And that's why I live a very privileged life right now. No one messes with me. I'm not caught up in anything, because I am protected. I feel protected.
Yes.
I can walk out my house confident because I know I'm protected on a level that is greater than this earth. You know what I mean? So I was just really offended. I was like, talking about my ancestors. No, they out here. They looking out for me.
Yes, and I know before,
My life
yes.
every day is an example of how that's
Yes.
happening.
And I want to respond. Yes, I want to respond. So then after that, like I'm gonna let Kundan get
Oh
in
yes.
and does what they
Oh,
do.
what happened?
So in your particular case with some of that stuff, like I said, there's points that I can definitely like go more so back and forth with you that I agree as well as I can disagree. But the whole objective, again, with what he was doing on those parts, I take another shout out because I've told you before about there's a content
Mhm.
creator named Kevin Samuels. I love
Mhm.
his use of acronyms, and
Mhm.
I picked it up and adopted it myself. But whenever you see sign language, which he used
Mhm.
the perspective of it as the acronym is, whenever you see shame, insults, guilt, and the
Mhm.
need to be right, when you see that come into a versus, a conversation, discussion,
Mhm.
argument, whatever it is, the person's already lost. They've already conceded. When they
Mhm.
do any other things, it's over. There's no more.
Mhm.
There's no more reasoning. There's no more
Mhm.
getting your point, anything across.
Mhm.
It's done. It's more so now. It's a shouting match to see, okay, who can offend who the most. And when you
Mhm.
let yourself stoop down to that person's level, that is where you come and create this whole manifestation. That's what it means being in the mud with somebody. Like,
Mhm.
don't want to get yourself down to that, but people will do that. Crabs in a bucket want to bring you
Mhm.
down. It's a whole setup again, like you said. It's going to trigger some type of reward for them in the brain. But when you
Mhm.
see any sign language, again, that's insults or shame,
Shame.
insults,
Mhm.
guilt, and the need to be right. That's when you know that there's no more for logic or any else of a talk. So shout outs again to Kevin Samuels. I like that acronym, so I be
I got
sticking with it.
another one for you too, because there's this whole other story within the story of this lady who was in his stream. I guess they had met or something, and then she hopped into my stream,
Yeah.
and I got to talk to her for like 15 minutes. She's a white woman. She's 55 and she's from Canada. I don't care what
Yeah.
anybody got to say. I love Canadians. They are the nicest, politest people I've ever met in my life.
Hmm.
And we got to talk for like 15 minutes. I got to really hear her story, get to know her. And then he started like bashing her and all this stuff. And I don't know. And that's how I knew. I was like, you're gaslighting and you're lying about people. And you're trying to, like you said, in the mud, you're trying to drag me in the mud with you. And I'm not about to do that.
Yeah.
But my point of bringing her up is she taught me an acronym, because we were talking about how people will ask you like, oh, how are you doing? But not really want to hear your response. So like, say
Yeah.
you're having a bad day, they don't want to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
We tend to just, say, oh, I'm fine. And so she gave me an acronym for what fine really means.
Yeah.
And so fine stands for fucked up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional.
Mm. Mm.
And I was like, that's a good one. I was like, that's a good one. I was like, yep, I think that's the short answer. Like, because if someone's well, they're going to say, I'm well or I'm good. But
Mm-hmm.
fine is like that other kind of like generic response that just
Right.
pops autopilot. And that's what it means usually when it comes out like that, like auto response.
Mm.
And I was like,
Yes.
oh, I like them words.
And if it fits and it flies, like you apply with it.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, I take perspectives from a lot of folks. There is a
Mm-hmm.
lot of things that I definitely agree when it comes to what Kevin Samuels brings about on his content, and then there's some things that I do
Mm-hmm.
not agree with. But I
Mm-hmm.
respect the fact that he's addressing what needs to be addressed. So
Exactly.
I like that. There, people are gonna have their certain ways how they feel about it. Drama can ensue. You treat
Mm-hmm.
people the way you want to be treated. All that stuff can be
Mm-hmm.
done.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure that Kundan gets a point. So
Oh yeah.
Kundan, what you got?
No, I mean, there's not much to say to that. I mean, I agree. Like, it's all gaslighting, manipulation, control, and even like false binaries. Because at one point, you were saying you're not open, you won't find a man, and not that you even want one, but you also said, you can be open and available and not be looking.
Yeah.
You can be a both and. Doesn't have to be either or. Doesn't have to be the black and white thinking or the false boundary.
Mm.
So yeah, it's a total lack of logic, and
Hey, girl.
and it's manipulation.
Sorry. Huh?
Oh, you're good.
Well, I was doing dish. I've been on my feet all day, so I pulled up the stool to do dishes. Sorry, guys.
Oh, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Oh wait, how do I hit mute?
There should be a button there for you with the mic.
Oh, there's a mute button now.
Yeah, there's a mute button. You can mute yourself, as well as you can turn your camera screen off as well.
Oh, that also mutes me.
Yeah,
Oh,
you can turn like your camera screen off. So like if I were to, I could just do that.
oh.
Yeah. So just if you have something privacy,
You mean
whatever.
like flipping the camera, or that's different?
No, it
That's
just
the right.
it just closes it. It closes it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I hear you responding back to what she ended up having. I'm hearing a lot of wind on your end too. I don't know if that's just only you, Kundan, but I'm hearing wind.
Yeah, that's the fan. Because it's hot.
Because
Yeah.
it is going on. It's hot in here, y'all. But
Yeah.
what do you have when it comes to
Oh wait, now
about drama?
I have stars falling on my screen now. How did that happen? Oh, okay. Check that out. Wait, you were saying?
So no, I was saying. So what do you have you want to add to the drama besides responding back to what Chris shared?
Drama. Yeah, I think I have less drama these days because I see it.
Yeah.
I see it coming a mile away, so I just report and block them. And in fact, this week, a few days ago, I changed my Instagram settings
Yes.
so that only followers can comment
Yes.
on my post now. And that's because a few weeks ago I did one of my dance videos and there was a lot of bullying and harassment comments. Like people I didn't even know, they were not my followers. And I didn't realize at the time that when you post an Instagram Reels,
Yeah.
that it shows it to many people who are not even your followers.
Yeah.
So at first I was like, I just put a warning. I changed the description and said, if any bullying comments will be just reported and blocked. But
Yeah.
now I figured it out. You can just go to your settings and just change it so that nobody can comment if they're not a follower.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that solved the problem. So I try to prevent it before it happens nowadays. I see it a mile away and I just report and block people. In fact, I even tell my followers to unfollow me on a regular basis if they're
Yeah.
not really engaging with my posts. Like, if they don't like my posts, I'm like, why are you even here? Especially with the serious things that I talk about, like racism and all that I talk about often. So yeah, that's why I have like at least 20 people unfollow me on a regular basis. But I also have another like 15 or 20 new followers follow me on a regular basis too for the last few weeks. So it's at a stable level now.
Awesome.
I did have almost a drama yesterday when I posted basically started my coming out as gender fluid in the Facebook group Hindus for Decolonizing.
Yeah.
And then somebody posted a weird, very strange saying about, I didn't even understand what she was saying. It was like such a random mismatch of things,
Yeah.
including like becoming like North Korean dictatorship and all of that. And I'm like, what is this person on about? But they also said awesome, and I'm kind of neurodivergent, so I don't always get sarcasm. So I just messaged one of the admins, and I'm like, at first I was going to ask directly, what do you mean by this? But I just messaged the admins, and they were like,
Yeah.
this is a very strange comment. What do they even mean? And she was like, oh, that's just being queerphobic. I'll just remove her from the group and block her. So I didn't even have to deal with it. So I've been blessed recently where I've learned how to like prevent it before it happens, even before it escalates. Like I just see it a mile away because I've learned how to document them. I've learned how to name it.
Yeah.
Like I know what reverse. I know exactly all of the weapons. Like I know what is reverse victimhood, what is a false binary. You
Mm-hmm.
know, often is reverse victimhood is the number one weapon, but then there's also the false binaries, the white centering and the male centering. Uh, yeah, those are the main things. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Look at y'all already been dabbling back and forth in between this one and the last topic, so it's like I
yeah.
might as well just go ahead and segment over it. If y'all have anything else for drama, like we can definitely add it in. But lastly, y'all, let's do this last topic because Kundan, you was already just throwing some keys
Already
and
on
points
it.
out to
Yep.
people. Like y'all
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
see, look it. If y'all are new or you don't know, either here
Mm-hmm.
on Instagram or YouTube, I do this purposefully. These questions is just not always just out of the random. They have some type of sense that come with them. But lastly, last topic I want to talk about is now how to block unwanted messages, people, and vibes.
There you go.
And Kunden already gave
Mm-hmm.
us great examples of that. Is literally if you're on Facebook, Instagram, and stuff, look at your settings and know what you can do with those particular
Mm-hmm.
settings, as well as
Especially
if you
Instagram. Instagram is better at it than Facebook. That's why I prefer Instagram
yeah.
now. Because you can also per post turn off comments so no one can even comment on your post. You can I do
Mm-hmm.
that for some of my posts.
Yes. And I will go back and I'm going to challenge on a
Yeah.
lot of this stuff too, just so we can have the back and forth with it too. And this is not to be like, oh yeah, you're wrong, but to also include the detractors, but also too, Kunin added that you can, if you're good enough to be able to spot it a mile away,
Mm-hmm.
you already can end up ducking, diving, and moving out of the way before it even comes and hits you. So being aware of the situation and knowing, oh, that wording is not feeling right, it's not sitting right. All right,
Mm-hmm.
let me exit. Let me exit scene left, and we're good. We're not going to start this drama and be in this play with all of this
Mm-hmm.
shenanigans,
Mm-hmm.
all of that. So being able to spot that, aware of it, a mile away. Another way to block out these messages and people and vibes is to honestly, after a while, you get to know people. Eventually, they do end up changing. So vet. When I mean by vet, after a while, just ask questions to see where the person is at, whoever you're with, whoever you're dealing with, and see where they're at mentally, if they've taken on and grown themselves. Because I will say, in my own personal experience, there has been people, peace and love, Taquitas Perfecto, good in here, see you, brother. I've seen and I've had people that I've known closely that I thought we were on the same page when it comes to stuff. We may have our disagreements here and there, but we were still on the same page when it comes to our friendship, relationship, whatever it may be. But as years continue to progress on, I started to see changes where it was just like it's either my way, highway. I don't care what you say
Mm-hmm.
or what you're hearing, and if you don't like what I like, well, that's your problem. So it's starting to become more so problematic, and not in the fact that like, yeah, I'm here to hear you. I'm not going to budge. I'm not here to attack what you're saying, but I'm not even here to even hear you out either. That it
Mm-hmm.
got to a point where it's like now I have to assess who I'm around, because again,
Mm-hmm.
you have to be very careful of who you have around you, what the things are around you, because ultimately your environment and things do have an effect.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to have stats and stuff for it. Look out into the world and you see great examples of this. So,
Exactly.
um, what I did is just I literally vetted a lot of my friends. I mean, I'm not like asking questions like, oh, so what happened on this day, or no, it's not interrogative. That's not what this is. It's more so to get a sense of like topics that y'all have shared in the past that y'all have liked, and now
Mm-hmm.
they've come to have a different perspective and more so of a close perspective where they're like, nah, I don't like this anymore, or it'd be like, man, nah, you're wrong, and it starts to cause tension. Like, don't look
Right.
for it. Don't go out trying to look for it, because you can cause the drama yourself. But there is a way that you can do assessment to know if this person is still here to be on your team, or they're just starting to take away, because that's where the energy and the vibes and things can get sucked away. There's a such thing as energy vampires, and
I
and
use that
people,
term.
Yep.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
and people who are here that you don't know that could be leeching off of your energy,
Yes, for
and
that
you think it's
dopamine.
someone you really know, but they're
Mm-hmm.
just adding their sense to just get their fill. So you have
Yep.
to be worried of that. Not worried, but you have to be aware of that. And yeah, vetting friends, I say, is another one.
Mm-hmm.
Have the comment in here. It says, is this discussion based? Yes. You can add any points that you want in here too. People usually come on, cycle on, go off, but you're more than welcome to add to the discussion. Right now, the last part we're on is how to block unwanted messages, people, and vibes. But if you have stuff on drama, please throw it in there as well. But Chris, did you have a point? So we have blocking them on social medias, looking at your settings to do things. If you're able to spot them from far away, make the according moves with the awareness, as well as to vet your friends and to see if they're still on your team.
Yeah, and also having the courage to say something. Because I've been recently, because my whole story with like the whole Starbucks thing and everything. Like now, I'm starting to stand like standing real tall. So if I see something I don't like it, like
Yeah.
I will report it, and I don't mind spelling out the reasons why, why I have an issue. Like with that guy, I was like, I reported him. I was like, this guy is gaslighting his viewers, giving unsolicited advice, manipulating, you know. So if this app, this company, this X, Y, and Z, if you guys are down with that, then you're down with that. Right, cool, whatever. But I said my piece. Like there is an issue, and now it's up to you guys to take responsibility and really look at, your users. Look at who's on here, and are you gonna just let this happen? I mean, by all means, they do have, we all make choices. So, it's terrible. It's unfortunate. So, like, either they cannot do something or they can do something. They can listen to the people. So, I'm all for reporting because I really personally believe it's not my responsibility to teach anybody anything, and that's just where I'm at. It's not my responsibility to tell you about how you're supposed to carry yourself when you're in mixed company with other human beings. You should have.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what growing up was for. That's what the childhood stage, the adolescent stage. Now we're in adulthood, and if you
Yes.
don't know by now, it's not my responsibility to help you find that out.
Okay, I'm gonna push back on you right there,
That's
just
fine.
because. Even though, look it, like I said, this is not meant to be like, oh, it's coming, but here goes a
Mhm.
general minded, or at least a general perspective from someone. If they'll be
Mhm.
like, well, you don't know the struggles in the life that I've went through. You don't know that I didn't have my mom and dad in my life, or
Right.
I was in a very terrible situation. So how can you say that I had to get my stuff and things together when I haven't had the resources to be able to do so? I had to worry about survival. So how are you going to tell me that, oh, it's not your job to do this? Like, aren't we supposed to be taking care of each other? Like, as a world, everybody's supposed to look out for each other. So you can't be selfish. You need to be helping other people.
I got an answer for you. If you ask me, if you ask me, if you ask for help. Because if I just go out and I just start telling you, it's like basically the same thing, but on the reverse side. Now I'm given unsolicited advice. You hear me? So if you ask me, if we're having a conversation, you ask, oh, well, I didn't know these things and I want to know, then yeah, I will help you. But just off the bat, I'm just supposed to, no, 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 no. I'm just
No,
supposed to,
they're
no,
not
no,
their
no, no, no.
therapists, right? They're
Yeah.
not their
Exactly.
healers.
I don't
Yeah.
get paid for that. It's not my profession. I don't have a degree in it. But if
Yeah.
you ask me for tips, advice, I
Yes.
will more than willingly do that. But just off the bat, I realize that you are missing some knowledge here or there. It's not my responsibility. I can direct you. If you ask for help, I can direct you to the sources that help me.
Yes.
But that's if you ask, because I'm not into the whole unsolicited anything. Like,
Mm.
because then you may be I got lost. You may be stepping over boundaries and stuff like that.
Mm.
I just posted about that yesterday or the day before when I did. That was my first Canva post when I said when to say don't take things personally and when not to say. So I did a
Yes.
whole series of parental posts. But on my last slide, I said, but always ask, do you want empathy or advice or both or neither?
Right.
And that's just etiquette to ask that first.
Thank you. And
Yeah.
how are you doing, brother? Welcome. This is
What's
What's the
up?
Word. I
It
appreciate
is
you
the
being
Hello.
here.
discussion.
So how are you doing? Can you hear us?
Hello.
Oh my god. I gotta move some shit. Alright. Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. How's it going?
Yes.
Yeah.
How's it going?
My poetry in the bed. I'm singing a poet, but I had to jump in on this conversation while I'm laying down. You said a very interesting point. I'm with the young lady. You know, I work as an educator myself,
Mm-hmm.
and one thing that I'm not gonna tolerate, and I'm sorry, excuse my language, is a grown ass fucking adult that's over 30, over
Yeah.
40. You got all these damn issues. Matter of fact, I don't even care if one is speaking on. If you are 46 years old and you still have childish tendencies and you think the world owes you something because,
Mm.
oh, I was a child to the system. Oh, I was in foster care. Oh, that's not my damn problem.
Or my
Okay?
business.
All my business. It's just like how many personal issues do we all have? I
Yeah.
have
Mm-hmm.
certain issues. It's not her problem. It's not your problem. My little custody battle between me trying to see my daughter is not his problem, your problem. So I don't have a right to take that out on someone else. And one thing that I
Mm-hmm.
noticed that we as people are doing, we keep enabling these, excuse my
Mm-hmm.
expression, these
Mm-hmm.
depressed, down and out motherfuckers, excuse my language, that want to go
Mm-hmm.
around thinking that the world owed them something. You want to mooch off for other people's energy. You want to try
Yes.
to drain everybody else because you're screwed up. Man, no excuses.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's no
Exactly.
freaking excuses. Now,
Mm-hmm.
like the young lady said, if you need help, I'll give tips.
Yes.
If you're trying to get better, because none of us are perfect, some of us
Yes.
need a little help and guidance sometimes. That's okay. But what I'm not about to do is, I'm not about to raise no fucking grown ass adult.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Exactly.
not, if you get a bad credit card from a scam artist and you ain't smart enough to realize that, okay, this is a scam. Somebody got to keep rescuing you out of your stuff like you a little girl or a little boy.
Mm-hmm.
You have some deeper issues that me and everybody else can't help. It's kind of like when you go out to an event. Y'all ever had that one friend that never has any money? Like in the early years, oh man, I left my money in it. Can you cover me? Oh, I'm broke. Can you cover me $15? Oh, you got a few little shots of drink. I ain't got that. You got some Newports, man. I ain't got that. You got some food. I ain't got. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Last
why
time
you
I checked,
here?
Yeah.
you was grown. You was grown. Oh, well, I can't do this. You 30 and 40 years old, man. You ain't never got no money. Why are you even alive?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm
Wow.
sorry. You know, I don't mean to be crass, man, but I get so sick and tired of these people that got issues and they want to cry out to everybody like everything is their problem.
Yeah.
Everybody has to suffer because you had a bad childhood or somebody
Mm-hmm.
died and all these stuff and all this stuff affected me. Take your freeloading, wannabe, simple, depressed ass and go sit in the corner and leave us folks that want to live a decent life and we don't mind helping humanity
Yes.
alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's my
And
spirit. It might come off hard, so I'm sorry, but you
No.
know,
No,
no,
I feel
it's
the same
definitely yeah.
way. I
It's
feel the
definitely
same
need.
exact way.
It's definitely look. It's definitely needed for
Yep.
certain folks because again, we have different ways of communicating. Some people
Mm-hmm.
are hard head, so they gotta learn the
Mm-hmm.
hard way. Where others
Mm-hmm.
are open to being to criticize and having some type of criticism. But in your case, and I say this a lot because I want to make sure people get this down when it comes to just all of this being done. And I do this back and forth too, because of the fact that because of all the coddling and all the
Mm-hmm.
entitlement that we've been
thank you.
able to give to
Thank
people,
you.
we give to people, they are not taking any, and I say this is a bad word now, but bad word in the sense people are scared of it, is accountability.
Accountability. Thank
Woo-hoo,
you.
Nobody's
no, that's
ready
my
to take
word.
it. So
Accountability and
we haven't
responsibility.
we haven't
Thank
set
you.
we haven't set people up for that. So it's weird
Yeah.
for that to be a thing when in this PC culture, which some
Right.
parts of it is good, but majority of it is being taken
Mhm.
advantage of. We're not
Mhm.
setting up people to have a great boundary of, all right, this is situations that I need to work on because I can only work on what's out inside of me, not in the outside world. And if I try to bring that to somebody else, more so as in you got to do this because it's your job, it's gonna come off completely like, oh, forget it. I don't have the power to do it. I'm gonna do it to somebody else, and they have to
Mm-mm.
take accountable for my mistakes.
Mm-mm.
And no, that's not what it particularly is. Like you said, we're not up here raising people. We're here to help and support. That's what we do. But you got to be able to reach out and have the certain way to know that you're going to be doing it. We're not here to be giving you a piggyback ride all the way to the finish
Mhm.
line. No, that's not what's going to be happening. You
I
got
don't
2
do the
feet.
coddling.
You got all of that different going on. You can get up and walk
Mm-mm.
yourself. I mean, even no disrespect, even with those who aren't able to do that, they have a wheelchair. They still gonna get their way there. They got
Mhm.
crutches. They still gonna
Mhm.
get their way there.
Hell yeah.
You have
I'm a
functioning
disabled
body
person.
parts.
I'm gonna tell
So
you,
yes.
you
So
can do
you
it. You can
exactly.
do it.
Let me tell you, I broke my heel last year.
Mm.
Okay, I fell in the subway. Long story short, I was on crutches and I had 2 jobs. And
Wow.
anybody that knows New York City subway trains, you have to go up the steps.
Yes.
Mm.
Okay, I crawled up them damn steps. I hobbled my ass to both my jobs. My medical insurance agent was like, Mr. Edwards, do you need an aid? By the time I was able to get one, I was already healed up. And
Mm.
Oh.
my mother is another living testament. My mother's a breast cancer survivor. Okay.
Mm.
After she had the chemo, my mother was still trying to go to work to help my father, hobbling on a walker. Okay.
Mm.
So I have no pity for anybody that got 2 hands, 2 feet, male or female. If you got a mind, you got a mouth, you can get your punk ass out there and you can go to work. If
It's
I see
willpower.
handicapped people doing it, what the fuck is wrong with you? Excuse me, because this gets me hot. You know what I mean?
It's
You
all
got
good.
2 legs, 2 men. Man, let me tell you something. I told, no disrespect, I told this young lady, she had the audacity, call herself liking me, to cash app or something. I said, you're not my daughter. I have a 5-year old. You're like 38. I can understand being short sometimes. I don't mind helping you out. But what you're not going to do is you're not going to take advantage of me. There's something called a job application. Okay. There's something called a job, 1-800, get a job, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
I said, the only person that I'm going to be a father to is my little muffin.
Yeah.
Not no grown ass man or woman. Now, if she comes into my life and we're like that, that's something a little different.
Yeah.
But you still got to take care of yourself.
Some yes.
You
Mhm.
know what I
Yes.
mean?
Mhm.
You can't come over here. You know what I mean? I'm coming. I'm bringing fried chicken and potato wedges, and you bring in oodles and noodles. That's not gonna work. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Oh man, this shit. And I just had to let go of a dear friend for 10 years because of that same mentality. They
Yep.
think
Mhm.
that the world owes them something. They think that
Mhm.
they can do all this silly, simple shit, and you're supposed to
What?
accept it because I'm 46 years old. I'm still lost. I don't
Mm.
have no direction. So
Mm-mm.
you got to be my dad. No, hell no.
Mm-mm.
Anytime your kids got
Yes,
a
man.
mother,
Yes.
your kids got to mother you because you so much of a kid at 40 something. Yeah, I
Mm-mm.
said it. You
Mm-mm.
know what I mean? Because I'm sick of this, man. Man,
That's right.
we keep aiding these people, man. We keep
Yeah.
feeling sorry for these fuck ups. Gone with that.
Be
Yeah.
looking
I'm
for a
with you
sugar
on that,
daddy.
sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
He said looking
Huh?
for a sugar daddy and everything.
Yeah.
There's too much.
Uh,
There's so much going on.
And
That's
sometimes not
why.
even in a very like formal, explicit way. Like I had this woman one time. We went out to have dinner, and at some point she was like, "Oh, like if you pay for this, I'll give you a lap dance." I was like, "What the hell?"
What? That's out. That's
I
out.
was like, I was like, "How does that work?"
And after that, she was gonna say, follow me at my OnlyFans, $5 a month, all of that. This
Hey, you know what?
look at they're marketing sex so much down to us to a point where now that is becoming the norm. And that in the particular case is causing a whole nother slew of issues
Another
of
I
issue.
with
wish I would.
relationships and stuff like that. So yes.
I wish somebody would take some ish like that to me. I'd say, no, how about I give you a lap dance? Sit your punk ass down. Matter of fact, eat this chicken wing while I'm dancing in your lap. Matter of fact, no, this is for my stress and this is for my wasted time. Goodbye. Take this chicken wing. Yeah, fuck out of here, man.
No games being played.
That's
No
hilarious.
games.
That's hilarious.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Now,
Yeah.
that's too funny. Wow. All right, now I want to get back to again. I'm gonna be a detractor. I'm gonna say this again. I want to see the responses again. So now, thinking of what both Kundan as well as Chris, and I think is your brother. Is your name Laurie? Is it? Am I saying it right?
It's Larry.
Laurie.
Larry.
Yeah, Laurie. So off of this earlier, these two spoke on about blocking people on social media, Instagram, and other places when all of these comments and things are coming in and it's just inappropriate. Now, a
Mm.
person who would say the opposite of that would be like, well, you're just not strong enough to take these actions. You're over here running away from what people are saying. It's supposed to be an open market of things. So you should let people say their freedom of speech and not try to block what they're saying just because it doesn't align with what you're saying. What would y'all's response be to that?
Heck yeah, I'm running.
Well,
I want to keep my
yeah,
energy.
heck yeah, I'd run away from a lion or a bear. So I'm not fighting a bear or a lion.
A vampire, energy vampire, same thing.
Or a
I'm
vampire. Yeah, yeah.
I'm running away so I won't catch a case.
Right. That part.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
part.
Cause it's only but so much I'm gonna take. Man, listen. If you want to yap about some stupid shit on social media, it's not like you can reach across and punch them in the face.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we going backward and forward on a computer for?
Right.
Say what you got. You know what?
And
Goodbye.
stand on it. If you're gonna say it, you better stand on it. I want to see a face and I want to see pictures on your profile. We ain't doing that faceless stuff. If you're gonna say it,
No,
stand on
we
it.
need to be. Hey, I don't know if y'all come from my school. See, before all this internet stuff came out,
Yeah.
if you had beef with a person, chances are you were going to run into
To
them,
them.
depending
Yep.
on how big the city.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was no running behind a text message. It was no running behind a keyboard, being a keyboard gangster and a keyboard crip and a keyboard blood. It was like, okay, what was that you said? Let's duke it. Well, miss, you want to go toe to toe? You want to talk about what? You're going to see that. You couldn't hide behind a typewriter and a Nintendo game. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that.
Yeah.
So now, if someone says that to me, I said, first and foremost, you're ignorant.
Yeah.
Why are you going to sit there and engage in a confrontation that's meaningless when it's so easier to walk away? A guy taught me this a long time ago. A smart person ignores a dumb person. It takes two idiots to argue, especially over the internet. That time, I could be promoting my music, or I could be checking up on my daughter, or I could be figuring out my next song. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why should I go backward and forward with you to prove that I can hold my own? I'd rather prove I can hold my own by getting my punk ass up and going to work and paying my bills.
Mm. Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Or
Yes.
taking care of my daughter or creating that next song and being creative and being a vessel to society and educating children rather than waste my time in a
Yes.
meaningless argument with somebody that clearly has an ego problem.
Yeah.
Makes no
Where
sense.
it is the ego
The
that's
other thing is free speech doesn't apply to private property, right? We're
Yeah.
on, all of us on Facebook are on Mark Zuckerberg's and Instagram on his private property. And if Instagram and Facebook were a country, and it is because there's at least 1 billion people now, it's like its own corporatocracy, right? Then each of our profiles are like little houses that we kind of own, right? So anybody else that comes into our house or a cocktail party, they don't have free speech. No, that's my house. And I have the right to kick anybody out of my house, my party.
Yeah.
It's not that serious to me, man. It's a computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what do me
Yeah.
and you have to go and argue for? We can't punch each
Yeah.
other in the face. We
Exactly.
can't sit down and have a face to face to see what the problem is.
Yep.
So to go backward and forward with somebody in a whole nother state, and you in a whole nother state, y'all never met each other, y'all never sat down, had a cup of coffee. What is the point? You know what I'm saying? It's pointless. You
Exactly.
it's all a show.
know?
It's all a show. Going back
Hmm.
to the definition, drama.
The drama.
It
Yes,
is
it
all
is.
an act.
I mean, on top of that, I wanted to definitely make sure I got that point that Larry ended up saying, and he said, walking away. Like that is definitely another option with a lot of this stuff. If it don't sit right with you, just walk away. That don't mean that you're lesser of the person or whatever in the conversation. Just
Oh
know
no.
that you are the quote unquote. They'll say the bigger person. If not, you are that person who's willing to be like, you know what, discussion's over because it's not going anywhere. So walking away, saving yourself that time and peace and that energy is another way to block all these unwanted things in your way. Um,
Yeah.
Another point that I wanted to add, another question before I get to wrapping up as well, is I wanted to ask all of y'all too. What is the purpose behind wanting to block yourself from all these different things, from what people say, from people themselves, and protecting your energy? Why do you want to do these things? Like, why is that important to do this?
It's just
Listen.
mental health, right? Just protecting my sanity, literally, right? Uh, especially, I don't know about you all, but especially for me, like I grew up in a military dictatorship, so basically, like literally a war zone, basically, and so I didn't always have the power to just block people, right? And this is also the age before the internet, like he was saying, and so now that I do have the power to just hit a button and not have to receive these messages, yeah, I'm going to take that option.
Awesome, beautiful.
Yeah.
Chris, you got something on that?
Yeah. Well, I just feel like it's just the society we live in. It's really
Yeah.
backwards. We're rewarding bad behavior, and it's making like good behavior look obsolete, or making it look really foreign. And
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a societal thing. I also strongly blame the educational system because, like, we were lucky, going to the schools we got to go to, but not everybody got the experience, like that.
Yeah.
So they learned something completely, I don't know, different, or they didn't retain or put in any effort to learn what they could, you know. And I'm noticing that more and more, especially on a personal level. I've been kind of in my own bubble. Not everybody thinks the way I think. Not everybody knows critical thinking. Not everybody can identify what a fallacy is,
Yeah.
especially when they're using them themselves. You know what I mean? And you try to tell them, sorry, and you try to tell them, and they don't even know what you're talking about. So then you're on two different grounds, and you can't find that common ground anymore. So
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like we just gotta kind of wait and see and let the teachers and the healers do their job. But earlier,
Yes.
is not the teacher role. So I don't feel like it's my responsibility. I don't have to, like, I shouldn't be telling you these things. You need to go find someone who is better equipped, who has the resources and the skills, who can help you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Because that's not on me.
Exactly. Exactly. Laura, you got
That's where I'm
anything?
at.
I just recently had to learn. I had to cut some things and some people out of my life because me, I'm not gonna lie. At one time, and I still do. I have a relationship temper. Um, Number one, being that I'm a singer, I don't know if you get this. I don't know what your art form is. I know you deal with music.
Yeah.
A lot of singers, poets, or people that are in the arts, it seems like there's some type of label that we have that people feel like that they can kind of test you
Yeah.
or they can come at you sideways and do things. I don't know if you get this. And when me, it kind of, it kind of had to put a chip on my shoulder. Cause it's like,
Mm.
all right, look, motherfucker, you're not fitting to talk to me, any old kind of way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're not fitting to think that just because I sing love songs, oh, you're about peace and love, so I can get over it. And then when I get disrespectful and I get rude and I get riled up, oh, I thought you was no, 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 no. You thought wrong. At the end of the day, I'm still a person. I'm still a
Yes.
human being.
Yes.
You know. But within a recent couple of years, I said, you know what? I have a daughter. I have things. I have people that are counting on me. I do have an education. I have a college education. I know what's out here. And sometimes you just have to disengage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to for your sanity, but also if you're a creative being, it takes away from your creative flow.
Yes.
And when you allow people to get in your head to the point where you can't be creative, you find yourself stepping out of balance and not your natural self because you're dealing with somebody else and their demons. You
Mm.
have to get, and it was very hard for me to cut some people loose, man, but the new year revealed a lot of things to me. Some
Yes.
people that I thought that we was like this, come to find out, no, we really ain't like that.
Mm.
So that was a painful reality, but I said, you know what, they're out of my space. And what is happening, I become more creative. I'm finding more things about myself to love, being in my own space sometimes, yeah. It
Mm.
might get alone sometimes, but I would rather be alone in my own bubble than to deal with someone else and their nonsense and their demons and it trickles off on me. So it's
Yes.
about finding, when you find peace here, man, like, I thought, and my friend is right up the street from me, but you know what? It feels better not even being around them or their energy anymore because I'm becoming creative. I have my own power. I can focus on things that I'm not
Yes.
even giving them a second thought.
Yes.
And and it's called inner peace. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
you have to walk away, and if you have to disengage with people, doesn't make you a punk, doesn't make you a chump, it makes you smart.
Yes.
Because some of us that do have, volatile temperament, nobody out here trying to catch no case, man.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Especially for some fatty, unnecessary nonsense or for somebody in their ego.
Mm.
So I learned that, you know what? I ain't got to deal with that person no more.
Nope.
I got inner peace. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it boils down to. Inner peace and just detaching away and not taking on the burdens and the pains of the world because so many people are suffering. It's one thing to help someone.
Yes.
It's another thing to help yourself have inner peace.
Yes.
And to be the best us, we're not going to be the best us or the best individuals. And we are constantly lending our energy to bloodsuckers.
Yes.
That's my feeling on that,
Exactly. Thank you for sharing.
Yep.
Thank you all for sharing. Reason why I say that too is I come back to this concept a lot, but it's a very important when it comes to the drama, how to block anything when it comes to your life is that foundation of knowledge of self. So really knowing yourself inside and out, because once you're able to have that basis of being able to know and provide and what helps you be you, that's where you can build upon that foundation. Okay, this person comes in because now they're helping me to say we're building a house. Now, say you already got the foundation, everything set. Are you good to go? Now you're figuring out, okay, now I'm gonna start getting to put the structure up. Oh, I know a brother that ends up knowing how to do the walls and things in. I'm gonna bring that brother in. So now they're helping to start helping you build this house. And now what you have learned is that you've learned I can do the foundational work myself. Now I'm coming outside of self to work with another person, other people that's helping to build this image of a house that is where I can stay and others are welcome based off of the fact that you've got to do that inside work and you know what works for you. So if you start seeing that your homie slacking on building the house and it's not working, and you're like, yo, what's been going on? And there's starting to be conflicts, then you know it's like, well, you got to go. I can't help you being here in the house anymore. It's time to go, cut off. Somebody else comes and cycles in, whole thing continues. So it's very important of getting that down of knowing your balance, knowing your inner workings of yourself, like you said, that inner peace. And once you're able to find what the inner peace works for is, you can share that with others and see how it works. You can be that plug, that connector, or that surge protector, and you'll let other people get along and add to it. But if they're starting to sap away from it and not bring in the return, because look, when we say currency, it's having to do with energy. It's a current. So if you're giving energy, but you're not getting anything back from that person, it's about time to go ahead and let that go and cut that off. That's wasted energy that can be used, like brother was saying, like Laurie was saying, for him to be more creative, for you to be creating other different things, for you to be having just energy to live and get by on all the other stresses. So just be, again, mindful of that balance, whatever it is, walking away, blocking, do all of that. Don't let the sign language, the shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right take precedent over your health.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I don't know if y'all have any other points, because it is about time I'm gonna start closing down on the show. So I'm gonna do some
Yeah.
summaries. But if y'all have any final closing thoughts, like put them in there. What's going on, brother JJ? Like, bro, you coming in here when we're finishing, but good to see you in here, brother. JJ Preem, good to see you, brother. But if any of y'all have any last points, starting with Kundan and then going down to Chris and then having Lowry finish out too. But if y'all have points, final points, please go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Much love, man.
And
Thank you.
going back to walking away or telling people to leave,
Oh,
online you can
good.
just block people, but in person, it's
We covered a
it's you
lot.
can still do the same thing. You can just tell people to leave, or you can walk away yourself. Like
Yep.
one time, I had a man in the park. Long story short, he was harassing me and asking me intrusive questions like, "Do you have a husband?" or whatever. And I was like, "Okay, this dude's crazy." So I was like, I told him finally, "You need to leave right now." And he tried to guilt trip me, like the sign thing you were saying, saying, "You don't like me anymore." And I was like, then I finally said, "Either you leave or I leave." And that's when he
Mm.
left. Like,
Mm.
like,
So addressing it. Yep. Addressing it. Exactly.
yeah, yeah.
Chris, you down there circling. You got something? I guess we
Uh,
we lost Chris right now. Laurie, you got anything?
just saying, just stay away from the negative. If it ever gets too involved, I tell anybody, man, stay away. Order sometimes can be necessary. Doesn't make you a
Mm-hmm.
punk. This means that, listen, I'm not gonna catch no case for nobody.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I always say, if it ever gets that deep,
Mm-hmm.
then one of us going away in an ambulance, and the other one, I'm not going,
Mm-hmm.
somebody going away in an ambulance, somebody going away in handcuffs. So to avoid
Mm.
all that, when you see people are negative, man, just walk away, man. Just, you know what?
Yep, just walk
I
away.
ain't dealing with you no more. You know what I'm saying? She got booted. But I mean, that's pretty much it, man. Just staying away, being creative if you're an artist or whatever it is you do, man. Being, staying engaged with what makes you happy and live, laugh, and love, man. That's just the bottom line, man. That's what we all trying. Well, most normal thinking people are trying to do. You know
Yes.
what I'm
Yes.
saying? Yeah, yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Chris, if you have something, you can throw it in the comments. But with that, y'all, I'm gonna do a wrap up, and then we're out for the show. I appreciate y'all. So to wrap up, y'all, when it comes to current events, making sure that you take your time to do your research and be aware of what's happening around you, because you never know how much of an effect it has on you, your family, and those around you. Second, when it comes to drama, the pros and the cons. With the pros, it's more so in an artistic side. It brings about the creativity. It lets you be able to explore different ways to bring out your personality as well as other things that you can work on as a person. Now, on the flip side of the cons, it can bring about a lot of conflict. It brings about only entertainment value as well as excitement value for people, and it can bring about a lot of pain. So you have to be worried of what type of drama you're getting yourself into, and if it's between persons and conflicts, knowing how to, lastly, block unwanted messages, people, and vibes. Either you walk away, like Laurie said, it's literally walking away, keeping away stuff out of that. Kundan saying whether you leave or I leave. Blocking people on social media, having different settings set up to the point where you keep your space, your inner peace, and your own mental health, because at the end of the day, you are not here to be another grown person, little person, whoever type of person. You're not here to be their parent and their guide, especially if they're not taking accountability. But with that, y'all, this has been episode 17 on What's the Word Wednesday, season 2. I appreciate everyone that got on. Shout out to Chris, Kundan, as well as Laurie. I appreciate y'all. We will be back here next Wednesday with episode 18. But with that, I've been your brother A.D.V.I.S. It's been Kundan. It's been Laurie. I will see y'all. Shouts out to everyone on Instagram and YouTube. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. And we will see y'all next time for What's the Word Wednesday. But peace and love, y'all.
All right. Peace
We're
and
out.
love.